ready, go. Where did it go? No! Is it yeah, that typically happens. Yeah, that's okay. We should have many balls actually on those. So again,
okay,
ready, go. All right, then let's keep. So as we see, your swing is fairly fast, so backswing and downswing. Mm-hmm. But in the backswing, you simply bring the club up and then try to hit hard in the downswing. So generally what I promote is a more active backswing. Right. And then using that, you will have a lot better initial conditions for the downswing. Mm-hmm. And then by taking advantage of it, you will be able to hit the ball without putting a lot of effort in downswing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So overall what we need to increase is just a more continuous motion mm-hmm. from the backswing to downswing. Mm-hmm. Instead of simply bringing it up and then try to hit harder here, mm-hmm. you just use the backswing and then using the rhythm here and then try to hit the ball. Right. Okay. Yeah, so since you are already a good player, so we don't need to really work on that aspect, but just to try to improve the rhythm here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so as usual, we'll stay there. As usual, so we'll basically use the so-called step drills. Mm-hmm. And it has 3 stages. Stage 1, you will keep the feet together, starting from here, and then throw the club in this direction first, using this as a trigger. Then you will try to have active backswing. Mm-hmm. But before you take the backswing, you'll have to take a step toward that direction, and then turn. So always one thing you have to remember is that step first, and when step is completed, then you turn. Okay. Okay. So step and turn, or shift and turn, mm-hmm. is called the Shunt Rhythm. Mm-hmm. A friend of mine coined this, who's in Memphis. But so Shunt Rhythm. Remember, in the backswing you have Shunt Rhythm, and in the downswing you also have Shunt Rhythm. Okay. Shift and turn. So you don't start the turn until the step is actually completed. Okay. So throw this way, and then take a step, and then start turn. And on the way up, you will take the second step, and after taking the step, then you will start the downswing. Okay. So let's practice this. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Yeah, keep the feet together, and then just initially, just to practice the rhythm. So you don't have to take a big step over there. You should. Oh no, it's too big. It's too big. So it's got to be about here. Okay. Then left foot will go about here. So then it'll give you your normal stance, right? Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's repeat this 5 times. And the only thing I want to add here is that the main purpose of this trigger motion is to promote active backswing. Okay. So you have to really increase the level of effort in the backswing. So by using the trigger, throw, and then bring it back quickly. Okay. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This will already give you a very different game. Yeah, your backswing is good now. Okay, now this time let's try the rope swing. Okay. So bring this rope this way a little bit and then start. And then make sure the rope goes around your body. Okay? So let's see how well you can do this.
Step also, or just?
No, just. Okay, so let's try to have a more active backswing. Then what happens is the rope will go around your body instead of falling on your body. Okay? More active backswing. Exactly. So there's no reason to snap it, but rather try to make a continuous motion, and then let the rope go around. Okay? Yes, the tempo is a lot better now. Okay, now, pay attention to the motion of the rope. Is it really moving along a consistent plane, or, to me, in the backswing, the rope goes slightly that way, and the downswing, the rope goes this way. So your backswing plane, downswing plane are different. So try to match those. Okay. It's because you are always lifting the arm up here while the upper body is leaning. So if you do that with the rope goes inward. So more, the left hip is moving toward, in front of the right hip, and then give more this action here, and try to keep the arm a bit higher. Okay. So make sure as you repeat, you have to pay attention to the rope motion, and then try to move the rope along a consistent plane. Is it moving along a consistent plane?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's because your body, upper body is turning that way. Yeah, so leaning backward. Okay. So instead, if this is the axle, the trunk basically forms an axle. And your axle should not turn this way or this way as your arm swings, but rather this way and this way. So imagine a Kwon or something. So this is the space you're allowed to move. Okay? So your upper part, the head, does not move that much, but your lower body can move a lot because you have a wide stance. But within this space, you will move actively. But if you go this way, then the space becomes like this, right?
Upside down.
Yeah, try to keep your space of motion like this.
Okay.
So more active lower body action here, while you're controlling the head position. Okay. You don't have to hold it still, but okay. So in order to do that, when you're going into a backswing, and your chest will lean slightly this way, because you're moving your arms and the club fast this way. So by leaning the chest slightly the opposite way, that you maintain the dynamic balance. Okay. And also when you throw the arms and club this way fast, then also you have to lean your upper body slightly backward. Okay. So this way the image is you have a space of, like this shape here. So basically the motion will be like this instead of going this way and then swing this way. Okay. And when you go this way, then the rope is always going inward. And also when you try to swing this way, the rope goes inward. Yeah. So feel that, the shape. Okay. That's better, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now your backswing is a lot more active. So you can really feel that the rope is going around your body, right? Yes. And then we want to do the same thing with the club. Okay. So when you do this backswing with the club, also have that active backswing. So from the trigger motion, try to bring the club back actively, and then connect it to the downswing. But as you did with the rope, if you rush down, then you will not allow the club go, up here, and then just try to pull it. Mm-hmm. But you already have good timing, so maintain that timing as well. Okay. Active backswing and good timing for the transition. So throw this way first, and throw actively. So try to go a bit higher, and then with that, faster backswing. And then keep your gaze on the ball. Mm-hmm. 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 And then now you have this big drum in front of you. And this is the drumstick. By swinging it, boom, we are hitting the drum really hard.
What do you hate, right?
No, I'm not going that way.
Did you get in trouble with that?
Yeah, so, some people gave me actually really positive comments about that. So, so I changed it to a drum. But so make a big sound so that everybody can hear it. Okay? So your goal is to hit it hard. Okay, so now the overall flow is really good. This time, let's intentionally try to slow it down a little bit, both ways, but make the motion continuous.
Okay.
A little bit slower, but make it continuous.
Even slower this way too?
Yeah. Because you have to connect it anyways. So if this slows down, this will slow down a little bit. But yeah, just to make it a continuous motion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then now make it really slow. And then when you throw the club this way, a little bit less wrist motion. So use the whole arm. Yeah, then your body will turn more. Now let's make it a bit faster. And the trigger motion, instead of using the wrist, try to throw and then turn the body more, and then active backswing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it's going really well. And at the top, let's have a bit more time. So instead of quickly coming down, just to pay attention to this the wind up. You have good wind up here, and have a bit more time, and then let it go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Again, less wrist motion for the trigger. Turn your body more, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they have, but you can take some time in between the swings. You don't have to keep swinging. So
I run a lot. I got good cardio. I can keep going.
How old are you?
63.
63.
Old.
You're in good shape.
Thank you. Yeah, I love to run.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. I'm getting 60 this year, so yeah. I'm not. I cannot imagine how it is like to be 60 something.
Yeah, it's easy.
I dyed my hair, so.
You did.
Yeah. So again, when you swing, you can slow down a little bit. That means have a bit more time up there. So you don't have to go right down like this. So try to instead have more wind up. Okay. So have active backswing, active trigger motion here, and then have good wind up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So now this gives you a lot better flow. Okay. So let me record this, and then I'll show you your initial swing motion and your current, stage 1 motion. So, stage 1, ready, go. Okay. So first, your initial swing. Now you're turning your body a lot more. So you let your body do, most of the work.
Without even thinking about it.
And then, so overall, the flow is a lot better. And here, your initial swing, you see, go up and then try to go down. Yeah, you can see that, right? So just practicing this step drill will automatically develop this good flow, and you will use your body more, which is particularly important as we get old, right? So instead of relying on your strength, you can use your body a lot more.
Yeah.
So this is stage 1. And then stage 2. Stage 2 is similar to stage 1, but the only difference is you are not taking that step.
Okay.
So assume a little bit narrow stance. Okay, not full stance, but narrow stance. So you have room for this step, right? And then throw the same way. Throw and turn your body, and then bring it back without the step, and then take a towards step, and then let it go.
Okay. And the towards step, halfway back?
Usually, if we analyze the swing, then when your club is about at 45 degrees, then you'll start the step. But if you maintain just the rhythm you developed in stage 1, then you'll automatically find the right timing. So sometimes you are in doubt, then try stage 1 first.
Okay.
And then try stage 2. Yeah, that way you'll be able to remember the timing. Yeah.
So who have you been most impressed with? Because you said something on video that, if I have the words right, it was a couple weeks since I watched it. I think you said it was eye-opening when you watched Jamie Sadlowski for you. I think you said it was eye-opening. What does he do better than everybody?
Oh, James Sadlowski? No. Oh, yeah, the long driver.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you said it was eye-opening for you.
He's not that big.
Yeah.
He's not that big, and then he's not really bulky compared to other long drivers. But he could generate that speed.
Yeah.
Because he was working with the ground really well. And then, although his backswing is really big, and then on the way down, he keeps the club really close to his body, and then finally let it go. Okay? And so it's advantageous to keep the club close to your body, early stage of downswing, and then he's using the ground really well and generating large torque.
Yeah.
Then finally let it go.
Yeah. And to keep it close like that, you can't pull, you can't rush it.
It's not intentional pull, but because you are emphasizing your lower body motion, then you just forget what your arm does, then it will stay close. But when you try to manipulate the club motion with the hands and arms, then you have to move the arms, the club goes away. And
You've become a very good player, I think, right?
no, I'm just a regular player. Yeah.
So when you try to, if you're just on the driving range, you just try to hit one as hard as you can, don't even care where it goes. What do you try to do to max out your speed? Is there something?
Always, to me, I use my lower body a lot. But my problem is I have really bad left ankle. So on one hand, I use my lower body a lot, but I cannot really load onto this side. So this causes a lot of trouble. So this is one piece that I'm missing, which causes, quite costly. But
some speed.
yeah, but so particularly as we get old, I still maintain fairly good distance. So I usually do the tee shot with my 5 wood, and it can give me a 230. So typically when you play at blue tee, it's sufficient. And my irons are also generally two clubs or 3 clubs longer than typical golfers. So I kind of enjoyed that. But still I don't have the finesse. So because I try to make a golf swing athletic as much as possible.
Yeah.
As I mentioned to you earlier, I thought the golf was not a sport.
Yeah. Not cool.
You know, I said that quite often until I got to the age of 40. And then when I started playing golf, then I changed my mind. But and so in my swing, you know, I always try to make it more athletic. That means I swing hard. Okay, so that's still the main characteristic of my swing. But yeah.
Interesting.
So let's go to stage 2.
Okay.
The same rhythm, and then only take the third step. So have good throw. Yes. And then again, good trigger motion, and then I have a good wind up there. So your goal should be a good wind up. So that was stage 1, and then now stage 2. Remembering that the rhythm. That was slow. That trigger motion was not that impressive.
Okay.
The trigger motion sets the tone. Okay. So if you have a good active trigger, then that means you will have active backswing. Yes. And then let's have stage 1. So you can always mix these different stages and try to remember the overall rhythm. And when you do that, instead of using your arms a lot, it should be throw and then using your body and then bring it back. So use your body more and more. Yeah, that was good. So then all you need to do is just keep your arms just relatively close to your body. Your lower body will do most of the things, and then on the way back, still keep the arm close to your body, and then let it go. Then you'll have good impact position here. So when you have slight angle here, it's easier to square the face instead of going this way. So when you have a lot of wrist motion, too much wrist motion here, then it tends to flatten, right? So keep it this way and then let it go.
It's just that simple, right? Basically.
And then when you do that, actually keeping this shape of motion is easier because, so either way, so when you go to in the backswing direction here, when you keep the arms close to your body, then naturally your upper body will be slightly leaning that way. And on the way down, when you swing really hard with the arms close to your body, naturally your upper body will lean backward. So you'll be able to easily maintain this shape of motion. Okay. So lower body is really active, but upper body is not much. Right. But still, you don't have any restriction here. You'll be able to move freely in that space here. Yeah.
Stage 1, 2.
Yep. What I like that. I like that. When you start a little bit of this motion, that's the vertical rhythm. Actually, once you develop that feel, then the overall, the rhythm will be really good. You cannot rush because you have this up and down, slight vertical rhythm here. Give a bit more time at the top. Yes, so let's practice that aspect. So let's put the club here. And then let's use the kettlebell here. Okay. This is a 10-pounder, which is, which I like the most. So hold the kettlebell this way. Okay. So your palms are forward. And then swing, swing, swing. So you will swing the kettlebell back and forth. And in doing this, do not use your arms. just to keep the arms in front of your body, and then try to use the lower body and the pelvis to swing it. And then as you go up here, instead of fighting, you just let the kettlebell drop.
Okay.
When it starts the downward motion, then you add your effort.
Okay.
So go up here, and then wait, and then throw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it go. Okay. Because it's heavier than the club, so you have to really respect the inertia of the kettlebell. Yeah, instead of flexing the arm, to keep it in front of your body, and then swing. Try to turn your body. Yeah. And then wait until it starts a downward motion. Yeah, even with that magnitude, still you are controlling the kettlebell motion really well. That means you found the right tempo. Okay.
Great. I like this. I like the way it keeps my arms.
So when you use the right timing and then you have the right tempo, then you don't really have to put a lot of effort. So you will just help the kettlebell to move this way a little bit, and then go up here, and then again help and go this way instead of try to fight it. Yeah. Whoa, this is good. And then throw. Yeah. And on the way down, you have a tendency of intentionally lowering your body a little bit. So go up here, and then you try to sit down. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
So in terms of the interaction with the ground, when you actively push the ground with your legs, then between the pushes, you automatically have a phase in which your force is less than your body weight. So it's called the unweighting phase. So you have a push, means your force, your ground reaction force, is greater than the body weight. And then unweighting means your force is less than the body weight. So between the pushes, if you just keep pushing, then between the pushes, you automatically have this good unweighting, as long as you push well. When you have a good push, and then between pushes, you automatically have this good unweighting. And then you don't have to lower your body. You don't have to squat down like this. Okay. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Kind of a fake way of doing it. My way, isn't that?
So you always start the downswing with a slight squat motion, and then try to swing, but you don't have to do that. Just a good push. Just pay attention to a good push instead. Both ways. And then push throw, push throw, push throw, push throw. And then kick the ground more actively with your legs now. So keep it the way it is moving, and then kick more, kick more. So imagine you are conducting an orchestra. Okay, so you have all the instruments in front of you. And there are two different ways to conduct the orchestra. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this is one way. But when you have really rhythmic music, then 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also possible, right? So golf swing is just, similar to the second case. So when you move, you always pay attention, emphasize the up motion. So up, up, up. So in order to have up motion, you have to push the ground with the leg. With this push, then you will turn. Then automatically, the weight-bearing side hip will move up, and then you will turn the pelvis and shoulder in that direction. Okay. So up, up, up. So pay attention to up motion instead of down, down. Okay. Just to emphasize the up motion more. In order to do that, you have to push the ground with your leg. But see, it's the same motion. It's the same motion. Here, push left side, left, right, left, right. Push hard, push hard, push hard, push hard, push hard. Yep. And then throw it. Yeah. And so, in order to throw it hard, the last one, right before that, you have to have a good wind up, right? So go up here and then throw. So repeat this maybe 5 or 6 times, and then final wind up and the throw this way.
Okay. And I have kettlebell at home too.
Yeah, so the last wind-up, that's what you normally do in the backswing, in the golf swing, right? And you can replace this kettlebell with medicine ball here. Just stay there. So do the same thing, and then try to throw the ball to me, okay? To me, not too high, not too low, but right here.
Okay.
Swing, 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 and then throw.
4 times, and maybe 5th time, go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You missed the target.
I missed. I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, so this is the same idea. This is the same idea, but because this time you will let it go, so the finish motion should be a bit easier. But again, let's say repeat the 3 sets of motion and then throw. 1, 2, 3, and throw. Yes, very good. So now you have the target. Try to throw the ball this way. That means you are controlling the direction correctly. Again, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, perfect. So now when you do this, you don't worry about what your upper body is doing.
Yeah.
So all you just remember is the rhythm, right?
Yeah.
And then your lower body will just take care of that.
Yeah.
So this is the idea. So when you start engaging the lower body, you don't have to worry about what your arms are doing, what your hands are doing up here. So you don't have to intentionally keep it close to your body. Because when you have a lower body driven swing, naturally you will keep the club close to your body. So kettlebell is kettlebell and medicine ball. Okay. These can be good tools for this motion. Okay. Nice. And then stage 1 and 2 again. No, is it too close? So you can mix these things together. Sometimes you have to fool around your body by giving different weights. Then if your body can manipulate all these correctly with the right rhythm, that means you have a really healthy mobility system. Okay?
Have you, so when you're doing the measuring in the weights, is it percentage-wise, is it 80% back here and then 80 down? I mean,
the average is about 75% that way.
Okay.
Yeah, during the backswing. But that does not really tell you much because many people do different things, but at the beginning of the backswing, they all shift at least pretty good. Okay? They shift well in the backswing at the early stage. So initial shift is always good. So they move the center pressure to the right foot quite a bit. But then what they do after that just changes that whole swing style. So, the fact that you can shift your center pressure 75% or more toward your trail foot, that doesn't mean that you have a good swing pattern. Yeah, so I've seen most people do that. Okay? But then after that, they go different ways. Yeah. So, but anyway, so we'll do stage 1 and 2. So fill the rhythm you just had with the heavier objects. And then pay attention to a good wind up and let it go.
Thinking too much.
Yeah, so now I'll record your stage 2 motion. Okay. Yeah, in your case, the overall motion pattern is pretty good. And part of the reason is your body shape, because you have a really healthy shape now. So, but when we get old, we get bulky. Yeah. And I also have this wisdom thing here, right?
Wisdom.
Yeah. But
Nice way to
so when you lose mobility in the trunk, then you tend to start using your arms a lot. But in your case, you don't have that limitation. So you're in good shape. So overall, you can develop really nice swing pattern.
Do you put, whether it be your student, young folks, or whatever age, do you have any kind of exercises that you like to see people do to try and strengthen or increase mobility? Or
I always ask them to have something that does not involve symmetric movement. So rather, one leg at a time movement. And you can, run, you can change the direction, when you run, as if you are somebody's guarding here in a football game.
Yeah.
The defense players over there, you try to move around.
Yeah.
You have to always work with the ground, right? So this will develop your sense of, golf ground interaction here.
I'm thinking hip hinges might be good, perhaps. I don't know if that's something.
But still, it should be more functional. So yeah. So you have to preserve the acceleration, deceleration involved in the motion, instead of having static something like this. Rather, you always work with the ground, taking steps and moving around.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So stage 2. Okay, ready, go.
Sorry.
Yeah, still that trigger was not that impressive.
I'm thinking too much right now.
Yeah, active trigger motion, and then imagine you have something really heavy.
Yeah.
Then you have to engage your lower body more, right?
Then I have that kettlebell here.
And then less bouncing with your wrist, but try to turn the whole body. So essentially, one thing important is you have to feel the motion of the club head. And depending on what kind of motion you introduce, sometimes you have this bouncing action with the wrist here. This does not really help in terms of club head speed in the end. So you should have good control of the club head motion here. You feel where the club head is. And then also when you swing, your goal is to swing this really fast, right? Then you have to cut down all the unnecessary movement. And then make sure that you are moving the club head correctly and also fast. So as you repeat these drills, always have to pay attention to how your club head is moving. Whether you are, getting everything you can get, or you have some unnecessary movement, and then it actually interferes with the club head motion. Yes, your goal is the club head motion here, and then your body will guarantee that. So more active body motion, but pay attention to the club head motion. Yes, that's now is a lot better. You had a tendency of a little bit of a wobbling at the top, and also in the trigger motion, but now you started getting rid of that.
Good.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So now I will record this again. Stage 2, ready, go. So let's see your original swing, stage 1 and the stage 2. So this is your initial swing. Stage 1. And this is the last stage 2. So you are getting rid of unnecessary movements. Yeah. So while you're using your body more actively, pay attention to the club head motion and see if you are introducing anything that actually interferes with the club head motion. So when you have wrist, when you use the wrist, generally it will help, right? But if the timing is not right, then it will actually interfere with the club head motion. Yeah. So again, stage 1 and 2. Okay, now stage 2. Yeah, one more. Yeah. Now stage 3. Stage 3, no step. So assume your regular stance, and then but maintain the same rhythm. So pay attention to the initial good trigger, and then bring it back, and then let it go. This way first. Trigger motion first.
Still?
Yeah. This is still stage 3, not your normal swing. So.
But no steps?
No step, but maintain the same rhythm. But that doesn't mean that you should not move your foot. Actually, you can lift your heel. So instead of taking step, you can still lift the heel, then you will have something similar to stepping, right? Yeah. So it's okay.
Rhythmic trigger.
Yes. And now let's hit the drum really hard. So give me your best.
Okay.
And then try to put more effort in the backswing. So you have the good wind up, and with that you are hitting this drum. Okay. Yes. Now when you can swing like this, so this much effort, and then good connection between the backswing and downswing, you will see a lot of increase in the speed and distance.
Nice.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yep.
Always welcome.
Again, stage 3. So still we are working on the rhythm, right? So pay attention to the lower body rhythm, and draw, bring it back, and yes. Now look at you. Pay attention to the club head motion, whether you are losing the club head velocity because of unnecessary movement, or whether you are giving everything you have to the club head.
Is it mostly up top here, or the unnecessary movement?
So when you have here wrist motion in the trigger, then you tend to have wrist motion, and then the club moves a lot, then that actually causes trouble. So
think about the kettlebell.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Okay, give me stage 1, 2, 3 in a row. And then 2. Now 3. Okay, now let me record the stage 3. So stage 3 again. Ready, go. I'll also record it from this direction. So ready, go. Yeah, so your swing plane is fairly well established. Okay, so this is stage 3. And then stage 3, although we eliminated all the steps, but still you have this trigger motion, right? But now when we move to your normal swing, regular swing, then we have to get rid of this trigger motion. So then the question is, how would you take advantage of all the rhythm you have developed in your regular swing without the trigger motion? This is the key. And it's hard to change everything just on one day. But the nice thing is that this is not something, you need to spend a lot of time because the motion itself is quite natural. So it's just a matter of doing it and then eventually replace what you already have or what you have had for so long with this natural rhythm, right? Yeah, so keep working on it.
So the unweighting, so right now we've got more body weight on the right side.
Yeah, so actually it's more force, acting on this side. And then, so when you have a lot of force acting on this side, on this leg, then you will be able to push the ground hard with it. But if actually you are away from, so during the backswing, when you move like this, then your hip is located away from the foot. It's hard to push. So that's why you really have to load onto this side, and doing that you can push. So during the backswing, the pelvis posture is really important. When you just spin around, then it's hard to push the ground in the lateral direction. Yeah, then once you load onto this side, with that you will be able to push the ground hard, and then in the downswing you will also use the left side to do the same thing.
And you're pushing at the start when you're here, it's going out this way.
Yeah. So generally, always you are pushing outward. So instead of, when you practice step, instead of bringing the foot in and then try to step out, rather simply step outward. Because you're pushing outward, you can go outward. Okay. When you have this motion, then you are putting too much weight on this side. And then from here, you have to break this balance and then start taking the step. Yeah. That's why you have delayed second step. So the second step has to start when the club is about here by pushing the ground outward with the right leg, and then you can take the left step. So start this. So always it's important to push the ground outward.
Yeah. Okay.
For that, you have to have a good lateral motion. When initially you push the ground with the left leg and your body starts moving this way, then you need to stop this, right? Otherwise, you'll keep going. In order to stop this motion, you start pushing that way with this leg.
So that's the rhythm.
Yeah. So that's why we need this motion here. And then this cone shape space here. So within the space, the pelvis is moving quite a bit here, but your head is not moving that much.
It seems pretty easy. Then I get a club in my hand, and then I get a ball there.
Yeah, also, this tempo is faster than the swing. Yeah. But just try to manipulate your body using this rhythm here. And if you can do that, you can certainly be able to do the same thing with the bigger motion, with the slower tempo. Mm-hmm. And even when you have a club in your hand, you can do the same thing. So when you have a slight reverse position here, then it's easy to recenter and then turn around. Okay, so the cone image is a cone-shaped space, and then you are moving. Mm-hmm. Your force is actually always going this way. When you push the ground, the force is acting this way to your leg. When you push this way, the force also acts this way. So the ground direction force will confine your motion within this space.
What's the moment arm? I'm not sure I understood that.
Moment arm is, so if you have a joint here, let's say this is a wrench, okay, and this is the head of the wrench, and then you are turning a bolt or a nut, okay, and then you will hold somewhere here and then pull. This is moment arm. So where your force is acting relative to the rotation center. But if you hold it here in the pull, you have a shorter moment arm. If you look at the doors, the door knob is always located the far end of from the hinge, right? It's because you maximize the moment arm. When you hold the doorknob and then push or pull, then because this is located far away from the hinge, so you have the longest moment arm there. But if the doorknob is close to the hinge, when you try to push and pull, it's really hard because you have a short moment arm. You cannot generate that much torque. And in golf swing, so this is ground direction force. And then at the top, generally the ground direction force will act this way here. So the center pressure is located close to the trail foot, and then the force is generally inclined to a certain extent. And some people may have a more upright alignment. Some people have more inclined force. Okay? But when you have this inclined force, center of mass is here, then you have a long momentum here. But if the force goes this way, you have a short momentum. The force is, let's say the inclination is similar, but if your body posture is like this, so pelvis is sticking out that way, the spine is leaning away from the target like this, then center of mass moves that way slightly, and then you have short momentum. So your posture matters, and how you push the ground matters. But when you have a longer momentum, that without putting much effort, you will be able to generate large torque.
So could you do just a slow motion and show me what a maximum moment arm would look like versus?
The momentum, generally the longest momentum occurs around the top of action or slightly after that.
Okay.
So the best situation is you keep the center of mass more this way or centered, and then you have good inclination. For this good inclination, more than anything, you should have a good amount of horizontal force. That means you have to push the ground outward. Then the ground direction force will act in the opposite direction. And without this horizontal component, then you'll not be able to really change the inclination much. And how then do you increase this horizontal force? This action here. You have to have more active lateral motion during the swing. You have wide stance. So there's no reason to keep your pelvis in the middle here. It's just a spin around. In particular, when you have a wide stance, then you have a lot of lateral force going out. They all cancel out, and then the total force will be just vertical. With this, it's hard to move the pelvis. When you have a reasonable stance, you can still push out quite a bit, and also you can move your pelvis. So you have to find the reasonable stance width. And then with this, you have to basically have good interaction with the ground. So your pelvis should move laterally. Okay? Otherwise, you will not be able to push the ground outward that much.
Gotcha. Okay.
So again, there's a reason for this wide stance. This direction you cannot do much because the foot is a lot shorter than the stance, right? And then generally, in this direction, the ground direction force acts maybe between the midfoot area to the forefoot area. So you can only use this much. So you don't have that much room for forward backward motion. So generally, you only have if the force goes this way, then this force goes this way. So you always have forces acting in opposite directions because of that. But for the lateral motion here, even both feet can generate force going this way together, depending on how you move your body within the stance. So you need to increase the lateral motion. This is not something bad, as long as you keep it under control.
Right.
When you shift away, then you always have a recentering motion. So as long as you have this active push with the ground, and then you confine the body motion within this space here, that's okay. Okay, so don't be afraid of shifting the pelvis away.
So if I have a good lateral motion, the proper shifting, and I have a little more active trigger to create more, as you say on the video, more mature up here, transition.
And in the end, what you need to achieve is really put the force on the lead side in the downswing. Put the force on the lead side and then swing based on that. Then you will be able to stay away from the arm-driven swing. If you don't shift the center pressure to the lead foot enough, then you have to use your arms. So when you have good shifter here, then simply it's just a matter of throwing the club.
It's a really key point for my issues.
Yeah. So this time we did this without the swing analysis. But once you develop good rhythm, then I think we can do this again.
Okay.
And go through the swing analysis.
Okay.
Then it will show exactly what you're doing with the ground.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it will give you more information.
And these would be important for me too, to keep it.
Yeah.
Can't do
Yeah. Particularly, indoors. Sometimes you don't have enough space. Then just you can use these tools and then always play with the rhythm.
And my wife catches.
Or you can perhaps dance with your wife, something like this. So you both face each other. Okay, let's dance, and then swing, swing, good wind up, swing, good wind up, swing. You can, do this together.
Make her happy too.
Yeah.
She'll get better than me.
And then also sometimes, in terms of the timing, you can hold the club up shorter here and then step forward and then turn, step, swing, step, swing, step, swing, step, swing, step, swing. This will tell you the shunt rhythm. Always step first and then turn.
Okay.
And then with this, if you maintain the same tempo, then essentially it becomes this. Without steps, if you try to do this. So step first and then turn that way.
So it's.
So try it.
You made it easy.
So face this way, face this way. Go a bit back, further back. Yeah, so from there, let's do this in step by step. Now, so take the right step forward. Take the right step forward.
No move yet? No movement?
No movement. Right step. And then turn to the right. Okay, there. Take a left step. You don't have to go out, just the forward step, okay? So take a left step forward, this way, and then turn this way. And again, right foot, come forward. No, still keep your upper body over there. That's take step, and then turn this way. And then left step, and then turn, right step. Oh, your arm is moving too early. We have to wait until the step is done.
Okay.
So from here, right step, turn, and they keep it this way here. Left step, turn, right step, turn, left step, turn, right step, turn, left step, turn. Now you can continue this. Initially, just step by step.
Okay.
So let's start from the right step. Right step forward, and then turn the body right. You're always turning the upper body to the direction. Yeah.
Okay.
To the stepping, side, okay, right, and then keep the upper body there, and then take left step, and then turn left. Maintain that position, right, and then this way, left and this way, right, turn, left, turn. Okay, now go back. We'll do the same thing, and now make it continuous, more continuous. Remember, you take step and then turning in that side. Your arm is moving early. Your arm is moving early.
Still.
Let the step finish and then turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn.
Step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn.
And also, instead of using your arms, when you turn, try to turn your shoulder. So, yeah. Step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn.
You're a better dancer.
So then you don't have to move your arms much. Keep your arms in front of your body. Okay.
So
step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn. This also is done in the swing.
So
step, turn, step, turn.
Is this all kind of showing and exposing that I'm very much an arm swinger? Very much.
95% of golfers are arm-driven. So that's probably the one issue in modern, golf or modern golf instruction. Yeah.
What do you say as people asked you ever that, you see these long drive guys or trick shot guys that get on their knees and hit it 250 yards away?
They still have a lot of mobility here, so they can use it. And then, when you have well-conditioned muscles, that your muscles can generate the speed. Yeah. But as we get old and we lose the strength and the power, then we have to use the body better. So initially, let's make it simpler. So I'll try this. Initially, just use the wrist. You don't have to turn the shoulder. So just try to feel the rhythm. Step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, like this. And then you can add the shoulder motion. Step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, right? And then if you do it continuously, and you can do the same thing here. Step, turn, step, turn, step, turn, step, turn. So in other words, in golf swing, instead of pulling the club down, you are essentially throwing out. Out. During the backswing, throw out, and then downswing, throw out.
You know what I noticed, and even just doing, it was on a perfect plane, which you just.
So instead of the reason why the swing becomes more arm-driven is because you try to pull it, pull down. But if you try to bring out, push it out, you have natural rhythm here. So now, face this way, and then assume your setup position. So during the backswing, so let's have the imagery of turning once you push the ground with your right leg and turning the shoulder that way, and then throwing the arms and club that way. Not lifting up, but rather throw out with the shoulder turn. And then on the way down also, when you kick the ground with the left leg and try to throw the arms and club this way.
Yeah, that's the first time I felt it great.
So what would be the difference between pulling and pushing?
And pulling is just your arms with less body, and pushing is more active body.
But still from here to here, when you swing the arms and club, whether you pull it or throw it, still the motion is this, right? But then what is the difference between pulling and pushing?
The rhythm is all messed up.
The main thing is whether your lower body is ready or not. Go up here. Before your pressure shifts this way, before your lower body is ready, when you try to bring it down, it's pulling. But wait until you're already shifting this way, and then now your left leg is, loading, then throw. So step on this side and bring it. That is just push. But before you shift it this way and then try to pull it, that is a pull. So that means the timing of the left leg action is important. Push the ground and then go. This is push. But without pushing, this is pull here. Yeah. So in the downswing, I don't know whether I'm doing a good job in expressing this, but so in the downswing, that shift toward the target, that's important, the timing. Shift first and then turn. With the shift, now you will ready the leg and then throw out. But instead, if you just bring the club down with your arms, before the lower body is ready, it's a pull.
So that's when stage 2 would be very important.
And also the reason why I asked you to do this is because try to feel the lower body action first and then try to turn. So here, go left step and then turn, left step and turn, left step and turn. This is always a push. No, do not try to lower your body. That causes the problem in the timing. So just take a step without intentionally lowering the body. Take step and then, take step, and then turn. Yes. Step and turn. But if you try to lower your body, so without lowering the body, okay? Just a step and then turn, yes. And instead of this motion, step and throw up. Try to swing up. Yeah. So step first and then try to swing up. Yes. So now your focus is kicking and then turning. This is push action instead of. So this gives you that feel here. Step and then turn, step and turn, step and turn, step and turn.
Yeah, that's probably why before I came this week, just looking at the videos, trying to do it on my own, it's dangerous. I was hitting the driver, pretty good, but with the drills, really low. So I think that's probably because I was doing it like that.
You intentionally try to lower your body.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, when you have a good push here, then in between you automatically have a good unweighting. So you don't have to intentionally try to lower your body. Just a good push, and then this push, between these pushes, you already have unweighting. So when you step, if you step and then lower your body, then you lose the timing. But step and then push the ground and turn your upper body. So emphasize the kick and the upward motion, up, yes. Up and let it go. So you tend to still kind of squat too much.
Still.
Yeah. Just push this side and then push. Still have this push. But just the push and the push instead of push up. Because of lowering and then going up, you lose the timing. Just the push, up.
Nothing more than that.
So you have good push on this side because you are only just paying attention to this side, but before you have this push, you are having the push from the trail side. So here, push. Always try to push. Yes. Now you start lowering. Initially it was okay. So instead, forget about downward motion. Your body will drop automatically to a certain extent between the steps. Forget about the downward motion. Always pay attention to upward motion. Up. The leg is always pushing. Up. Instead of try to lower and then push.
Okay.
This lowering causes trouble in terms of timing.
Okay.
So just a push, 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 instead of push, up, push.
The orchestra, I messed them all up.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I'm going.
Yeah. 1. So always you have a push with the leg, and then the pelvis and shoulder turns with it. So let's practice this. So in your case, you're already a good player, so just let's try on the different things. So stand on this one here. I'll help. So here's the metronome ticking, and then you just match the shoulder turn with the metronome tick. So tick, 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 and then let's move laterally a little bit more. Tick, tick, actively laterally, tick, tick. Yeah. So in this one, your focus is push and the shoulder turn. There's no room for intentional lowering of the body. Tick, 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 tick. Yes. So whenever you try to intentionally lower your body, then this causes trouble.
Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah. So we did some different things today, but
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. So it takes some time to completely learn this rhythm.
Yeah.
But you really have to pay attention to the movement pattern you're using. So instead of going down and then pulling this, always just to try to step and then push out, step, push out, step, push out.
Good. Good.
Yep.
Good. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it.